I was wondering if you knew that I don't have a homeless condition I can live with very soon. Very soon I will be homeless outside. Witness is God that I don't have in anywhere for any karma with God. I'll be deceased out of karma inside anywhere in any dwelling, any house or apartment, any dwelling. I don't have RV or camper because they're not considered to be deceased and threatening. That means I lived in an apartment or in a house. I don't have the homeless condition that I was living outside in the parks anymore and threatening. That has to do with Charles Toe didn't leave the key that I was living in before I met himself. But now I don't have what it takes to pay the extortion that's being charged to myself because I am myself. And I find that you are in contempt of myself. You don't know who I am is due. That's going to be how this is going to end. You don't know who I am is due to myself. You're not supposed to charge me rent because I am myself. You were elsewhere charging rent for the square footage of where I was, but now you want me to pay the same amount of rent as when Charles Toe was living here. And it's true that the rent should be less, and I don't have the rent would be lowered. The rent would be raised, and it is raised that way. The rent is raised by that it's lowered, and it's true that I don't owe you any rent, and you're trying to identify who I am and make me pay you rent because I am myself. And that was elsewhere. As you're repeating the threatening, that's already deceased. And you don't seem to know what is deceased. I am altogether myself is all of myself deceased. And you don't understand that I am deceased, and you keep doing things against myself because I have needs. And you don't understand what needs are. I have God as a witness with my needs. And you keep telling me I have sexual needs, and that means God doesn't have a witness that I have any needs. And that's true that I can't help you with that because I'm not castrated, and you're trying to attack myself in the genitals, and I'm not sure if you've seen the size of this world. The world is so big that you attack my clitoris is the size of one pea, and you have attacked my clitoris with 1,000 men and threats, and I have no home in the threatening because my clitoris is the size of a pea in a world the size that it is. And it's an airplane's world, and I can't afford you. You don't have any karma to be here. You don't understand what's wrong with you. You don't understand what's wrong with me because I don't have anything wrong with me. It's what's wrong with your eyes looking at me. You absolutely stole that you look at me with eyeballs. You have eyeballs that belong elsewhere in a jar of formaldehyde. I just really don't understand why you don't have that taken care of with yourself. You don't know how to put your own eyes in a jar of formaldehyde when you look at me. When you look at me, you stole your eyes. You should go put them in a jar of formaldehyde yourself. And that's how you need to know how to do that. You need to go to a walled-in prison, upstate of any state, and you have to decease the address. And then you have to see a coroner and a medical examiner about getting your eyes removed. And you don't actually do that to yourself. You have to hope that they do that for yourself. And that means you have to have a medical examiner in prejudice. Do you know how to get a medical examiner in prejudice? I know you know how to ask me for rent money every month, and you know when I don't get it, you have an attitude like I have never seen. You call 911 police, and that you think I stole an apartment that I lived in and died in. And I really think you don't understand how to get to an upstate prison and to cease the address so that when you have landlords in the prison, that they're not looking at an address and moving traffic. If there are motor vehicles in any kind of prison, they don't have that they are trafficking. I have been trafficked enough. I am God deceased, and you put me in human trafficking, and you are not humans that way. You are shunts. You don't believe in God because you're trafficking myself, and you don't believe in this video because you don't believe in your ears in a car are completely stolen. Your eyes in a car are stolen. You need to be in an upstate prison with the address deceased, and then you can talk all about me to whoever wants to listen to you, but I think they don't want to be around you. You want to try to impress some people in a prison that you're very well behaved on money. You want to be well behaved in prison. You think you'll impress all the people in the prison to make them accommodate you there. You don't have that problem solved. Anyway, are you out in the free world? you don't have the problem solved that I just described. You're not over me. I think I just traded places with everybody who's not myself. And that I am God deceased right here. I'm the first and alive. I am the lever into alive of everything of the formed world and alive itself. And you actually want everything that I have with myself, everything I need for myself. You want that for yourselves. And you have a small amount of people who are physically close to myself. And then you have the rest of the world that is spread around you. And you have only a few people who have taken what I need away from myself. And you have all the rest of the people included with those few people, that you have identity theft of myself, that you think you're over myself. Everybody who's not myself, with the thieving of the little that I needed for myself, you went away with it, and that you think you're over me. And I was wondering how you're ever going to decease yourself out of that, because I am deceased right here, and it's been reported for the past 2.5 years that I am deceased from having been subject of that you don't believe in me. Who asked you to believe in me? What are you doing anywhere near me? And that's you thinking that I need to leave you. But how? You don't make sense. You want me to go from person to person and person to person, and you think that they don't know me, and you have a creator, but you don't have one that way. That means you know that everybody who's not myself is related and moving around each other, and that you are all illegal lives with an unclean death pending, and you want me to run from you and your unclean death. You don't actually know that I don't have an unclean death that way myself. That's you thinking that you can afford to go lower and lower and lower, and you don't have anything to lose. I hear you in my mind saying, anyway, you do something illegal because you don't have anything to lose or gain. Anyway, you're going to do it illegally. You're going to do something against myself because you have an identity that does things against myself. And if you're going to die out of the formed world, if you're going to die out of your self being formed in the formed world, you're going to anyway. And you keep doing illegal action on the threatening against myself and excusing it with that you're going to die the lowest death anyway. And that's you not needing the ticking time in alive. I'm shutting off alive because you did that to me. Well, what are you going to do about that you did that to me? Are you going to shut off alive? How come you don't shut off alive when you don't care to do something good or bad to myself if it didn't matter to you? Why didn't you just shut off alive? You can't shut off alive of yourself with yourself. I can shut off alive of myself with myself. I just can't do it exactly on your points. It's true that I'm not in it with you. When I do shut off alive, it will be myself deceased.